Hello, everyone. This is a lecture 14 of Law and Economics by Professor Sung Han. Uh, Actually, we covered a lot about the property right. And what I'm going to tell you is actually, I have to tell you a little bit earlier the market system and trade, because we talked a lot about trade when I explained the property right. But then I think I should explain a little more at this point to help you to understand the material. And it's very simple. You must have heard a lot about the greatness of the market system. Okay, free market. Why free market is so good? Of course, it's so easy to understand that the countries which do not have the free market system, like North Korea, is doing very badly. And the free market system introduced South Korea, and we are doing very fine. Compared to the fact that 700 years ago, no, not 700, 75 years ago, the North Korea, South Korea are actually same country, and the data showed that North Korea lived a little bit better than South Korea. However, 70 years ago, the North Korea accepted the non-market system, government control system. South Korea accepted the free market system. And then the result is, surprisingly, South Korea is doing very well, included number 10 wealthiest country in the world. On the other hand, North Korea is not. Okay? Think about this. It begins from a very simple fact. Think about there is a seller who wants to sell this stupid red ballpoint pen, and there's a buyer. And because Professor Han once hold this ballpoint pen, it's very valuable. Okay, believe it. The seller think, okay, the value of this pen for me is 200, which means he will never sell it under 200. But he would be happy to sell it if the price is bigger than 200. On the other hand, the buyer, I would say she, has the value of this pencil 600, which means she's not going to pay any more than 600, but if the price is less than 600, she's more than willing to pay. The assumption is the seller, he does not know the value of her 600. Of course, he knows 200, his 200, but not the 600. The buyer knows her 600, but does not know the seller's 200. So they will haggle. Give me 1,000. No, I will never pay more than 100. And they will just negotiate. What do you expect to be the result? In the classroom, I did that many times. Maybe 90% of the time, the trade, the negotiation would be settled. At what price? Any price between 200, 600. Let's assume that they agreed upon something like 400. Then the seller gains 200 because what he values at 200 is sold at 400. So 400 minus 200 would be 200. The buyer would also get 200 because she values 600, but she got it at the bargain price of 200. So both parties would benefit out of this trade. So when both parties can gain, it's very likely this trade will happen. What about the social point of view? The society or nation would be very happy because all its members get better. And the national wealth at this moment increased by 400. Why? If this was owned by the seller, keep owning it, the value is only 200. the seller and buyer didn't do anything to increase the function of this pencil, but when the ownership changes, this pen's value immediately changed from 200 to 600. So that is the power of trade. You are not producing anything, but if you find out the person who values more, then the nation's wealth increases. The nation becomes wealthier just because of that. That must be the easiest way to make wealth. Okay? What about the other case? The seller values 600, buyers value 200. Now we have a mathematical problem. Can you find out a number bigger than 600 and smaller than 200? I can't. I don't know, some mathematician can find it, some strange number, but as long as economics are concerned, there does not exist such a number. Which means the seller keep arguing, give me more than 600. The buyer keep arguing, ask me less than 200. So this trade will not happen. You don't have to be sorry that the trade didn't happen, because if trade happened anyway, the value of this ballpoint pen, changed immediately from 600 to 200. So the nation, the society loses 400 immediately. That is not a good thing. Therefore, this second trade better not be happening. And in real world, it's not going to happen because there's no price that can satisfy seller and buyer at the same time. And this is free market. If you let the people trade freely in the market, the case number one, where the society can increase its wealth 400, would happen. In case number two, when the society might lose 400, would never happen. So just simple fact, this simple experiment is the difference between South Korea and North Korea. It's difference between the non-market system economy and market system economy. But even in Korea, America, where their free market exists, the free market is not always guaranteed. There's one thing. In order to have a free market, nobody should force you. Nobody should prevent you. We know coronavirus, COVID-19, is greatly disturbing the economy. Why? Look at the case. Seller values 200, buyer 600. They want to have a trade. And if they meet, they talk, they will. But because of coronavirus, they cannot go out, they cannot meet. So this possible 400 cannot be happening. That is why the stock market collapsed so much and so many people lose jobs. What about mafia? Look at the second case. The seller value 600, buyer value 200. The problem is the buyer is the mafia. What is the characteristics of mafia? He makes an offer nobody can refuse. So the mafia buyer might say, oh, I'll pay you 100. And the seller said, okay. Why? Because mafia might kill him. Therefore, this trade should not happen, would be happening. Why? Because mafia may force it. So it's not economic influence, but the physical influence. So, think about the case. Now there's a little bit complicated. The seller has a real diamond. the diamond value for the seller is 2,000. But there is a chance that the diamond is fake. Let's say 50-50. So expected value of the seller is 1,000. The seller knows whether he has the real diamond or not. But from buyer's point of view, who do not expect the seller to tell him the truth, it can be 2,000 or 0 with 50-50% chance. So expected value of the diamond is 1,000. On the other hand, if the real diamond, the buyer is willing to pay up to 3,000. So if the diamond is real and sold to the buyer, something like 2,500, everybody would be happy. The seller gains 500, buyer gains 500. But the buyer, if I'm a buyer, I would never pay more than 1,000 because it can be fake. So my chance of getting 0 is 50, while getting 3,000 is 50. Oh, sorry. So it will never pay 1,500 because 0 and 3,000 half and half. If you are a fake diamond holder, yeah, you'll be happy. But then buyer said, oh, you're happy about that? I'm not buying. If you're a real diamond holder, my value is 2,000 and you can pay me only 1,500? No. So this trade is unlikely to be happening. It's not going to happen. Okay? Then there is great inefficiency because there are 1,000 profit to be gained. The social wealth could have increased 1,000 by changing the owner, but it didn't happen. So it should be happening. It should be traded, but would not be traded because of the possibility of the diamond can be fake. What if there is a police? The police, later you find out the diamond is a fake. The buyer find out. And call the police. Police, people goes to the seller and arrest him or her and return the 2,000 or 2,500 to the buyer. It's guaranteed. If police is that efficient, the fake seller would never dare to sell it. So the buyer would be very confident the diamond would be real because if otherwise the seller would go to jail. So they can trade. So the existence of policemen to find out the fake diamond and punish the seller guarantees the trade. That's why we need law. We means economist. So the economists think the nation's wealth would increase. We are getting richer by the existence of policemen who prevent those kind of crimes. So the government intervention, government regulation, the existence of police is always good. There is a problem. The thing is, what if the government requires so many documents when you sell and buy things, and if you innocently miss one document, you go to jail? So if the punishment is too severe, government interference is too much, the buyer and seller said, we can trade and get like $5 profit each. However, if we miss just one document, we go to jail. That would be $1 million loss. I don't want to risk my whole life for these stupid things. So for example, if the government regulation is too much, some person want to have a company, store, making money, hire people, but then the labor regulation, so many things, and environmental regulation, those are good things. However, I open a store, I want to make money, whether it's a big money or not. But then, because of environmental regulation and labor regulation, I may go to jail for the rest of my life. Then, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to have any business. So, the government existence may help the trade, but if they do too much, like they are doing more than optimal level of regulation, that also prevent the free trade. So you should be balancing it out very carefully. And this legal system is very important. I want to give you one old Japanese example. The name is Kunijichi and Tokoro Jichi. Jichi means hostage. And this is, you're from same village, same town, same country, you become hostage. What does that mean? In the 16th century, which means 1500 something, there is a Japanese, like a shogun, Japanese samurai, very famous samurai named Oda Nobunaga, who ultimately almost unified this divided Japan. At the time, Japan was divided by like more than 100 countries, and the samurai named Oda Nobunaga defeat half of them and almost unified. Of course, just before the total unification, he died. Okay. Anyway, how Nobunaga did that? At that time, every samurai has an army who is at the same time a farmer. So they are farmer in summer and fight as a samurai in winter. But Oda Nobunaga said, oh, no, I don't need that kind of army. The farmer just keep farming. I'll have a professional army who fight 365 days a year, anytime. So when you have that army, you invade the adjacent country, neighboring country in summer. And they say, oh my God, Oda Nobunaga's army does not do any farm. And after several times, the farmers of neighboring countries said, oh no, even though we win this war, we are going to die, starve to death because we cannot do the farming. So you can win. Of course, at the time, the Korean knows it as jochong. The rifle was imported from European countries. And people are, okay, should I buy more rifles because I have a horse and spear and arrow and things like that, sword, samurai sword? Oda no said, no. The rifle is the future. So he purchased thousands and thousands of rifles. So using these two, he win. The point is, both professional army and purchasing a lot of rifle need money. Where did Nobunaga get the money? One factor is he changed the rule. What rule? Let's look at it together. This is Kunichichi and Tokorochichi. Think about a merchant in Osaka 500 years ago. Then one person from Tokyo visited his store, find out this box, something very interesting. Oh, I can make tons of money if I purchase 100 of these and sell it Tokyo. The problem is the person from Tokyo is a traveler. For tourist, he didn't bring his money. And he said, okay, can you give me 100 of this and I'll pay you later. No money now. And then the merchant said, pay me later. But at that time, now, using Shinkansen, you can come from Tokyo to Osaka 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But in those days, it's like a 20 days trip and around it, 40 days trip. if you live in Tokyo, you don't go to Osaka so often, maybe once or twice in your life. So when is this Tokyo person B, okay, go back to Osaka and pay back the money to A? Why A gave the thing to B on credit, not getting paid right now, maybe future credit? The reason was interesting. This Osaka merchant get a document that, oh, I sold this much to B and B owes me this much money. And B is from Tokyo, most importantly. Maybe a month later, another man C from Tokyo visited Osaka and visited this merchant A's store. And when they are talking, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Tokyo. And he said, do you have money? Oh, yeah, I have some money. And then the merchant A took the money from C without any reason and showed the document. There is, you may not know, but there is someone named B in Tokyo and you live Tokyo. So you is kind of friend. Oh, I don't know, but still they are from Tokyo. So you are the same person. By law, I can take your money for him. So kunichichi is, if someone is from the same village or town or city, you're the same person. What person B owes, she should pay. I mean, it was like that when I was young, when my father was young. If my father's relative owes some money, then somehow my father should pay. Otherwise, people blame my father. Oh, come on, your relative, your cousin, you don't pay your cousin's money and things like that. So that was exactly same law before Nobunaga 500 years ago in Japan. And what Nobunaga did? Not anymore. If B owes money to A, B should pay, not C from the same country from B. Before Kunichichi Tokorochichi, people is not so willing to travel a lot because you go somewhere because someone you don't know from the same country owe the money to them and your money would be ripped off. But because of Oda Nobunaga, at least in Oda Nobunaga's territory, this thing does not happen. This thing happens anywhere, but in Oda Nobunaga's territory, C would say, no, no, no. Oda Nobunaga says, in his territory, I cannot be ripped up. So give me my money back. If you are person C, are you going to go to Osaka or are you going to go to Oda Nobunaga's territory to do the trade? So as a result, all the merchants come to Oda Nobunaga's territory and Oda Nobunaga taxed them and Oda Nobunaga became rich because taxing the merchant. And the merchant is also happy because they have, even though the Oda Nobunaga taxed them, there's no threat of getting ripped off. So when Nobunaga changed the simple rule that Kunichichi Tokorochichi is not allowed in my territory, he make more money and he has a better army, stronger army, and he governed the whole Japan. He conquered whole Japan. And at the moment Oda Nobunaga conquered the whole Japan, the Japanese new law would say Kunichichi Tokorochichi, not anymore, because Oda Nobunaga conquered the whole Japan. So it's the legal systems. It's not only the animals. The legal systems are competing each other. So the legal system, which is better to make the country stronger, would survive. And when they survive, this less efficient, worse legal system disappear, and the evolution happens even between the legal system. The Western world, the famous legal system was established by Roman Empire, and Napoleon. And as you know, both Rome and Napoleon conquered the whole European countries, European continent. And as a result, when Rome conquered the whole Europe, the European legal system evolved, improved, and when Napoleon conquered the whole Europe, the European legal system improved again. So what we economists think is the current legal system has survived this survival of the fittest, the evolutionary game. Therefore, whatever the normal people and law school student professors think, it is very economically efficient legal system we are having right now. Thank you.